Welcome to our season 2. This is the capitalist versus communism debate. I have Wes on for capitalism and Venezuelist for communism. So I'll have Wes go first, I guess. And yeah, whenever you're ready.
No, already. Sorry about muting my mic. So, I think we're going to argue, first of all, as my system, capitalism, you may disagree that it's exploitative, okay? We can get into deep with that with Marxist surplus value equations and where it does not fit inside of the macroeconomic perspective. Whenever we go deeper, we can see that we can end poverty inside of a capitalist society with such thing as a last resort employer and a job guarantee program. Those are the two main things I want to focus on this debate.
Dope. You there?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Or just you guys can just start talking, I guess.
Yeah, so I think those are some really interesting points. I see social democracy as sort of a polish on the brutal system of capitalism because one of the main reasons that I'm against capitalism is that I think that class hierarchies are the root of evil. And so I'd be interested in debating on you with the effectiveness of social democracy. And although I can't deny that it may be better than our current system for citizens in either of our countries, but I see no reason why not to accept socialism.
Okay, so first I want to dive into the fact of, in your mind, I'm going to ask you something. Do you believe capitalism is inherently exploitative towards the working class?
I think it definitely breeds exploitation, yes.
So would you agree with Marxist surplus value equation?
Yes.
Can you exactly tell me what Marxist surplus value equation was in his writings?
Yes, so the surplus theory of surplus value calculated the prices that went into the exchanges between CEO and worker under capitalist economy, and pointed out its algebraic exploitation.
Do you know what the equation was from Marx?
Yeah. Why?
Well, because for us to look at this type of argumentation, I usually focus on the equation sides of things. So, if you don't mind, can we say what you think the equation is for surplus value?
Yeah. So I think he used. I mean, I can't tell you what the letters were, but essentially he used the materials that went into the production, then the labor that went into the production, and the wage that the worker was paid.
Okay, so Marx's surplus value equation was C plus minus C is greater and V is greater than C plus V plus S, where the C is constant at capital, V is the variable capital, wages, and S is the surplus value. And the value of every product can be seen composed to these parts. Going deep into this, in my view, Marx forgot a simple equation part inside of surplus value, which again would be constructing the two models of circulation: the money circulation between capitalist society or a macroeconomic scale, which again would be C-M-E, corresponding with the simple commodity production on the one hand, and M-E-M for the capital on the other. Less noticing the fact that the two schemes come in capital on a very different footing, where Marx forgot to. And both of these equations both match the type of thing of the capitalist having to use revenue for things such as taxes and other expenses. And I'm going to ask you a question. Let me find my question for you real quick.
Okay.
My question to you is going to be throughout this debate, through this all of surplus value. How is it possible for non-laborers to appropriate the value produced by other people through an exchange between equivalents?
You're talking about voluntary exchange?
No. The non-laborer is going to be the capitalist goods and expenses. Marx did not appropriate for this in the surplus value theory. Therefore, I'm going to mark this as Marx did not understand commodities and he did not understand money. So therefore, I'm going to say that the surplus value theory is wrong.
Okay. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so pretty much, right? Again, surplus value is, the capitalist taking the extra labor and the extra wage from the person that he's employed, correct?
Yes.
So, again, the example would be if I made a boot that was $10 and I got $1, the capitalist got 9, right? Marx thought that was what? Exploitation, aka surplus value, correct?
Yes.
Okay, again, this is where Marx forgot. Marx forgot that the non-labor proportional effect, as the capitalist has to pay taxes on that good, he has to pay business expenses on that good, and everything, which goes back into the C-M-E equation, which therefore I'm going to label as false, as Marx does not understand money inside of a macroeconomic scale.
The worker also has to pay taxes.
Again, again, Marx accounted for that, but he did not account for the capitalist paid good and expenses.
And you think that somehow... Well, okay, how does that negate the exploitation if capitalists are still able to make profit off of the surplus value despite it being taxed?
Okay, again, money thrown into circulation by capitalists includes the purchase of the means of production, but also the new investment in luxury goods. And this, its profits cannot be grasped as a simultaneously an income and expenditure. The taxes that the person would be getting wouldn't be paid for by themselves, right? There would be, in my system, right, if that person was making $1, they wouldn't be getting taxed at all. There would be a negative income tax where they would pretty much be saying, oh yeah, you're making $1 for this wage, therefore we're not charging you on taxation, and therefore the government's going to be supplying with UBI, Medicare for all, and everything else.
Right, so you're scaling taxes based on the income of individuals, right?
Yes, a negative income tax.
So what does that have to do with the relationship between capitalist and worker?
What do you mean?
I still don't understand what that has to do with the relationship.
Again, okay,
worker.
because what this is showing is that the capitalist will be sooner or later giving more money to the person who is working through him through a production increase, right? Once there is a production increase, wages rise. That's typically normal. We can see that through everywhere. Here, I'll show you an example. I have a source on it.
So what you're saying is that through social programs, that money will be repaid as the capitalist is taxed higher, correct?
The capitalist wouldn't be. In my opinion, I think corporate taxations and everything should be lifted off the capitalist.
Okay, so that's interesting. You don't believe in income tax? Is that what you're saying?
Not income tax, corporate tax.
Okay, so one of my main arguments against that would be that not all of those taxes would be going back towards the worker, and the worker do not consent to that relationship.
Those taxes aren't going to the worker; they're going to the state. The state wouldn't be using those taxes to do anything. Again, I'm an MMTer. I believe the state would print more money to help these people.
Well, then that money that is being taxed is not going back to the worker.
It's going to the government, which the government is giving it to the worker. So yes, it is going back to the worker.
Well, you just said that money. You just said that money is going to be printed and not taken from.
No, okay, listen. The reason this money, if the appropriated good of value is not big enough for them to calculate goods enough, right? I'll give you an example. If I make $1, I get the dollar wage for making a boot. The capitalist gets 9. The capitalist would therefore pay taxes on that, which would be $8, right? The capitalist now has $2. Okay, now that $8 is going to the government. The government says, okay, thank you for your money. This is the taxation part. I'm going to split this money and give it back to the person who's working for you. But also, I'm going to print more money along with the way of it, just so as the fact that I can give them more social programs, such as Medicare for all. The Green New Deal would be in place, and people would have an UBI, which is $2,000 UBI is what Rand already supposed, and they would have a negative income tax, which therefore these people would more than likely escape poverty. We have seen that with multiple South American countries who have attempted the employer of the last resort or the job guarantee program, like India, who have literally done these type of programs and have seen not poverty reduction, but higher wages. The reason why they're not getting poverty reduction is just due to the fact that they're not maintaining full employment.
Okay, so how do you deal with tax evasion and imperialism as a capitalist response to this?
Easy. So pretty much there would be no tax evasion. The government would severely stop this. I think Hyman Minsky once proposed as...
how do you stop the capitalists from lobbying the government to not do that?
Define lobbying.
To use money to influence the politics, and literally anyway, not even necessarily specifically
I'm
lobbying.
going to tell you right now, I don't think that's... the politicians, as Hyman Minsky proposed, right? Don't strong man this. He specifically said, post-Keynesian econ, the people who are in the Congress are there for the people, not for the businesses.
Well, it says that in our Constitution too, but
Okay, that doesn't. No, again, Hyman Minsky. I think there was a specific law that he proposed that specifically said if corporate tax money was getting, not taxes, if corporates were paying politicians for these things, then therefore the government would go in and take these businesses and put them back into the public sector.
Right, but direct payments are not the only way to coerce politicians or electors.
I agree that this is the same thing that would happen. That politicians would tell the government, or the government finds out, right? Because we can look at it. What's the normal U.S. senator salary?
I don't know.
$400,000 a year, right?
Okay.
Mitch McConnell's walking out with $3 million. You think the government's going to be like, what the fuck? Why are you making $3 million? No, the government's going to go look and see, okay, looks like you were taking goods from this company, and this company. Therefore, we're going to tax all of that money that you made, give it back to the government, and we're going to spend it on somewhere else, probably for the people.
Sure, but he's still taking money and influencing politics based off of what the owners of the money would want.
The owners of the money. Who's the owners of the money?
Whoever produced the money, or who
The
paid,
government.
who paid him.
The government.
No, but the rest of that money didn't come from the government. That wasn't from his
No,
wage.
the sovereign issuer of currency is the government. The government would be the one getting its money back. There would be no the capitalism.
Yes, but
no
the
money.
people who held that money and gave it to him directly was probably
The government.
capitalists.
The government gives the capitalists the money, and then the capitalist takes that money and gives it to the workers.
Can influence politics. Just because the money is printed by the government doesn't mean that the value of that money cannot be used to influence politics in a way that isn't in the Constitution. It literally happens in America today.
I think you're misunderstanding. I think you're arguing corporatization versus social democracy or post-Keynesian econ. Again, in the corporatist society, yes, there will be these type of things happening. Under my system, no, there's not. I think actually, if you look at let me speak. If we look at countries, for an example, like Norway, Sweden, and the Nordic countries, I think they're one of the least countries to take corporate packed money. I would also argue that they also still are some type of corporatist, not 100% social democracy as I praise for, as Hyman Minsky once called for. But I would just say that if the government is willing to take this packed money and the PACs are telling them to do things for the people, then I wouldn't find a harsh thing to be doing with it.
Yeah, and those corporations are extracting trillions out of the global south.
Again, are you going to use the imperialist? Are you going to use the imperialistic argument?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Imperialism is not inherently towards social democracy, right? Once we look at it, I'm going to ask you, what do you think happened under my system for taxation?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think the people are getting excessively taxed or lower taxed, like the Nordic countries?
I mean, I would ask you that.
Okay. So pretty much, I would be arguing that for low taxation, right? Negative income tax. I don't support a minimum wage. I think it's BS. I would support a negative income tax, where therefore people who make a below the poverty line would be getting taxation off of their. Pretty much, they would get, as soon as they pay taxes, the government would give them excessively more money from those taxes. Another thing that would happen again is a UBI. I propose a $2,000 UBI, which therefore that's monthly, by the way. They're still making more money than they would be under that capitalist, right? And then under public sector employment, right, with the job guarantee program, what would be happening is that the public sector would create wages that are artificially insane that will help people live above the poverty line. The second thing that they would be doing is they would be helping the people with social necessary goods, and that would force the private sector to compete with the public sector and do higher wages and higher what is it called? Man, I'm forgetting. Better like Medicare and all of that things. Even though there is a Medicare for all problem, this could literally fuck, man. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Goods and shit that the capitalists can give to their workers in the private sector. That's what would happen. Under my system, there would be no global effort to go down to the south and imperialistic other nations. My country would, number one, be artificially what am I speaking? My country would be sustained on natural resources on its own country, right? Nuclear energy. You have wind energy, solar energy, sun energy. Right, those countries are going to leave.
Yes, but there is an incentive for the capitalists to get cheaper labor, so why wouldn't he extend?
No, there isn't.
What do you mean there's not?
No, the country would literally be telling them, let's argue as Greenland. Greenland, what country is Greenland a part of? Denmark? Yes. Denmark, right? Let's give this example. Let's say Denmark has a wage that the private sector is holding that is $10. And we have another public sector who is offering $8, right? That private sector has a huge explosion of production rates. That capitalist doesn't care about lower wages, higher wages. They care about getting their product on the shelf and selling their product to create more money, correct?
Yes, and
Yes.
and you
So
make more
therefore,
money if you have lower wages.
Again, no, that's inherently false. What are you
How?
using? What are you using for that? How are you
Okay.
calculating that?
So if I'm able to pay my workers less, that means that more of the money that I'm getting out of my products is going into my pocket.
No,
instead
you
of
just be
workers.
taxed more by the government.
Well, how does the government calculate that on whether or not like the wages are?
The government would calculate it by how much how much money the capitalist is revving in.
And so then there is no incentive for capitalists to get richer.
There is actually. That's a funny thing. Capitalists are getting somewhat richer. It's not excessively richer. You're going to have a close closing of a poverty line. We're going to abolish poverty pretty much. And then the second thing that we are willing to do is the capitalist isn't going to be. What's the United States wealth gap right now? Do you know?
I don't know the specific
Let me look
number.
it up. Pretty much the United States wealth gap is. It's not really saying. I don't want to make an assertion of a number that I don't know, but
It's high.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be happening under a social democracy with heavy social views that would be getting these people the money that they need to survive, which I don't know what the daily amount you need to survive is. But if we also keep going, it would be a small number. Like, it wouldn't be like, let's say it was 7% in the United States. It would probably be at least 2% inside of my social type of democracy.
So, how would this not make the dollar less valuable?
Taxation. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I'm in your bedroom and I have a business card, right? And I show you this business card. And I say, you can't leave this room till you get this business card. It's going to be $100, by the way. Or you can clean your bedroom. But if you walk out the door, there's a dude out there with a 9mm. Is this piece of paper, is this valuable now? Is this business card valuable? Yeah, it would be, right?
Hold on. Say it again.
Okay. Let's say I have a business card. I walk into your room with a business card, and I ask you, is this valuable to you right now? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. I ask you, you can buy my business card for $100, or you can clean up your bedroom. But if you try to leave with this business card, without this business card, there's a dude outside with a 9mm pointing at your head. Is this card valuable to you now? Do you want to die?
Or I could just jump out the window and extend my business to
No, again, you would be dead.
To make more profits.
You would be dead. If you're not, no. The government's taxing everybody. Everybody's going to get taxed in the capital.
The government's going to kill me if I extend my business to other countries? Yes.
Not kill you, but they would probably take over your business.
Okay, so what stops them from just taking over businesses that they don't like?
Again,
that go against that are peddling views that they don't like.
Okay, you're kind of strong manning my position with this.
No, I'm just saying that if they have the power to do that.
You're asking how money's valuable, and then you went onto another way of saying, "Oh, how come I
can't
go to this country?"
But you just pointed out something that the government under the system would be able to do, and I asked you what stops that from being exploited.
The government has its own sovereign currency, which is valuable to the government.
Okay, yeah. Still, how does that stop? How does that stop that?
Stop what?
So you said that businesses could be shut down if they do something that the government doesn't like, which is exporting labor to other countries, correct?
It would excessively depend if they were like, let's say they went to China and they were charging.
So it depends on the exact situation. So the government gets to decide whether it's okay. Or not.
I support. By the way, I'm Keynesian, post-Keynesian. I support severe and heavy financial regulation inside of business and marketplaces.
So what stops them from exploiting that right to decide which businesses they think are and aren't viable, and shutting them down when they say go against political views of the government?
That wouldn't happen.
Why not?
Because again, I can't speak. The government is there for the people. You're going to strongly on this position, I know, but if we also keep going deeper into it, the government cares about its sovereign currency. It cares about what they're going to get. They don't care about their party's political views, right? Congress is looking to keep inflation low, production rising, and the people happy. They're not caring about
people happy, but making the people happy is based on their political views.
Okay, and another
So
thing.
what enforces serving the people?
Okay, and another thing, right? As Hasib was saying, it's not economically efficient for the capitalist and the government to go out of their way. Let's say the government is wanting to go out of its way for a political view to stop this company. That's not economically efficient. That wouldn't work in my type of system.
I mean, that would depend entirely on the situation and how valuable that.
The government's always pretty much preserving economic resources.
Yes, because the government has never intervened anywhere in order to further a political view. Is that what you're saying? It's not worth it?
Whoa. If you're going to
When
strongly...
they can print their own money?
Wait, the government can print its own money.
Well, you just said that the government...
Yeah, they can, but they're not going to go out of their way to another country and try to get their own money.
If they're gonna profit from it, why not?
They're not. It's sovereign currency. Sovereign currency is to one nation.
Okay, but they want to stay in power, right? Government is inherently self-preservatory. So if they're going to do that, and that's going to advance the political view that people are voting on to get them in office, then that's
that's not economically efficient for the government.
I didn't say economically. I said politically.
Again, that's still the same thing.
It's not economically efficient to not have a job, is it?
What are you saying? There would be a job guarantee program.
Well, sure, but you have more power than having a job guarantee than just being in a job guarantee program if you are an elected politician, correct?
Again, the elected official would be helping.
So you're just minimizing the same problems with capitalism and making them shinier.
No, my type of capitalism
making them less deadly.
Again, my type of capitalism abolishes poverty, and also gives
hold on, define poverty.
Okay, you want me to define poverty? I got you, man. So pretty much, I would say poverty is a state of being extremely poor.
Okay, so that's great. But being poor,
I would also define poverty as living above the poverty line.
Okay, but the poverty line would change. Poverty lines change when countries get richer, right? So there would still be a poor class. Just the experience of living in that poor class would be different than here, correct?
Again, I think you're kind of not understanding my point.
Okay, what's your point?
We'll go back into the job guarantee program. Benefits include poverty reduction, social ills associated with hold on. My bad. Benefits for a job guarantee program would be poverty reduction. You would have social things associated with chronic unemployment, health problems, special abuse and family breakup, drug abuse, crime, and enhanced skills due to training on the job. That was from Fobster 1999 when when employment was skyrocketing. And then the ELR can be used to increase economic flexibility and to enhance the environment. The program would be improving worker conditions in the private sector, as employees would have the option of moving into the ELR program. Hence, private sector employees would have to offer a wage benefit package at least as good as the one offered by the ELR by the government. The informational sector would shrink as workers became integrated into formal employment, gaining access to perfection provided by labor laws. There would be some reduction of racial or gender discrimination because unfairly treated workers would have the ELR option.
Okay, so let me know if I'm misunderstanding. You said that the public sector and the private sector would have different currencies. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. So what did you mean by sovereign currency?
Okay, a sovereign currency is a currency okay, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Australia. Australia has a sovereign currency. Do you see Canada printing Australians' dollar? No. Exactly. That's what would be happening under my type of social democracy. What would be happening is I don't know why they're arguing in the chat, but what would be happening?
I don't know. I've never been to Canada, but I don't think I would see that.
They don't print any. They have their own dollar. What would be happening is Australia would be focusing on printing its own money, keeping inflation in check with high production rates, and making sure production never falls below the thing to have massive inflation. Another thing it would do is if that does happen, what they would do is they would somewhat raise the taxation to keep the dollar from inflating so bad. If we also keep going, right, we would also be having the government's sovereign currency. I'm going to stick on this. the government's sovereign currency. They're the only issuer of currency. The people inside of the country would be the user of the currency. You're not going to see somebody in Europe, let's say Germany, going to buy something with the Australian dollar, right? Because that Australian dollar to that German dollar would not be valuable to the business owner. He would be saying, oh, that's not valuable to me. I'm never going to Australia. I want the German dollar. Okay, well then let me go exchange this for the foreign exchange market value rate and give it to you.
Okay. All right, interesting. So, but you did say, correct, that there would be a public sector and a private sector competing in the economy, correct?
They would. Okay, so pretty much, it would force the private sector to actually higher wages. It wouldn't be competitive next to each other. It would just be a last resort if somebody want. Okay, let's say you're making $2 in a fucking capitalist. Let's say you're working at Amazon, you're making $2. All right.
Dang, we down bad.
The government has the farming industry. You want to go farm? That's gonna offer you $15 an hour. Guess what? I'm gonna go to that farming job. It's a last resort issuer. I can go there. They have a job opening, and I fit the criterias. I'm going to that job, and I'm gonna give you a wise quote. Hyman Minsky once talked about: "The liberals' war on poverty was born out of neoclassical theory, in which it is the poor, not the economy, that is to blame for poverty. The war on poverty tried to change the poor, not the economy. We're trying to change the economy, not the poor."
Okay. So, what would stop the private sector then from competing and succeeding over the public sector, and just monopolizing?
That's a good. No, they would be. The only time something would be monopolized would be from the government.
Okay, so
the government would have a monopoly on its money. It would be a forced monopoly. What, a forced monopoly?
Well, no. Just like, why is giving the government ultimate economic power a good thing?
Because they're the ones who know how to get rid of poverty. They're the
But what
ones
if they
who
don't?
understand the
What
system.
if there's a politician who makes mistakes?
That's such a bad
No. We see it all the time. People
Right.
can make mistakes, and if the government has complete control over the economy,
It wouldn't be the government.
well, you just said it would.
It would be Congress and the Federal Reserve and the central banks.
Okay, so what if? I mean, what if they make a mistake though? What if they decide this is going to be good for our economy? We're gonna, I don't know, bail out these banks, and then
Hey, bailing out banks is pretty based. It doesn't create monopolies. You should look into that. Wait, no. If you don't bail out a corporation, a monopoly occurs. So pretty much, right? What would happen in this type of situation? It's not just one person making an issue. In your hypothetical, everybody would have to make an issue for the whole economy to go to shit.
I mean, not really.
Yes, really.
It takes one group of people. Then
Not really.
If they have this much power.
Okay, give me a hypothetical of what would happen in my system for it to crash.
Okay, so let's say that there is. Who did you say would be making these decisions?
The Federal Reserve, the central bank, and the government.
Okay, so the government.
They wouldn't be handling the currency. The Federal Reserve would be handling, and the central bank would be handling the currency. Same with the Treasury.
Okay, so let's say that the Federal Reserve decides that there's not enough money and they need to print more money, but they make a miscalculation and they print more, and it causes a collapse in the economy. Or furthermore, those in power decide to shut down a private business, but they make a mistake, and it turns out that private business was
keep going. I'll be right here. I'm just gonna.
All right. So again,
is vital to the economy.
So are you pretty much arguing as the government? I again repeat this because I'm kind of misconceptioning it.
What?
Can you repeat your hypothetical?
Okay, so here's a hypothetical. Let's say that those in power decide that they want to do what you said and monopolize over a field or over an industry, or they want to shut down a private business.
Just to clarify, Wes is on the capitalist side. All right.
Yeah.
He used to be a tanky. All right.
Okay, so
I can see that.
Awful progressive West, you're based. But anyway, right? I'm just gonna say this: the government wouldn't be shutting down these businesses. They would just go inside of them and heavily regulate them. I also do support worker cooperatives. So if this were the time where the government says, "Hey, if you guys want to start a worker cooperative, go ahead. That's your guys' choice. The workers, if you guys want to, go ahead." But I don't believe in like government forceful monopolies.
Okay.
I mean, not monopolies. Whatever.
Well, didn't you just say that?
Not
you're in
monopolies.
forced
Whatever the fuck
monopolies?
they're called. Government. Whatever. What are they called? Mandated monopoly. I'm not. What the hell is it called? Where the
Bro.
I'm messing up on my word. What is it whenever the workers own the productions in capitalism? I forgot what they're called.
Worker cooperative.
Yeah, worker cooperatives. Let's say if the government wants to go and say, hey, do you guys want to have a worker cooperative here? And they all take a democracy vote, and they all say, yeah, I'm kind of down. And the government be like, okay, we're not going to force you. It's up to you guys. Go ahead, do a worker co-op. Okay, I don't support a heavy where the government steps in. You guys have to do a mandated worker co-op. I don't support that. I think it should be the people's choice.
So you would consider that to be a mistake, correct?
The government wouldn't do that.
But what if they did?
They wouldn't.
But why?
We can't improve these like very big hypothetical situations.
No.
We've never seen my situation.
Human mistakes. If you're gonna be having this much centralized power, how do you stop human mistakes?
Again, the power would be separated from multiple things: central bank, Federal Reserve, the Treasury, and everything that's inherent into policy making.
Ad populum fallacy.
Define ad populum.
Just because a lot of people think something doesn't mean that's true.
Wait, Vivus,
a lot of people agree on it being a good idea doesn't mean that.
Wait. I could literally use this for your situation also.
What do you mean?
I could literally say, how come if all the workers on the means of production and one worker messes up, how come a whole factory doesn't shut down?
What?
It's the same hypothetical.
That's such a straw man.
No, it's not. What? That's the same hypothetical you're proposing.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, because this is you're talking about hyper centralized power, and I'm literally talking about making a democratic workplace that decentralizes the power in a workplace.
What does worker co-ops?
Yeah, so that's literally taking socialism is literally taking decentralizing
aren't you a market
power
socialist?
out more, huh?
Wait, aren't you a market socialist?
No,
What are you?
syndicalist.
So would you have some sort of government? Yeah, I'm thinking you would. You wouldn't have. You would agree with Marx's three things of a state, but you would still have something there, right?
As a transitionary power, yes.
Yeah. So what makes them from not creating a monopoly of force inside of the people and taking this whole thing back to a capitalist society?
Because it's heavily democratic.
Again,
And they wouldn't form if people weren't anti-capitalist.
Yo, again, that's the way my system is, bro. Dude, okay. No, my system is heavily democratic also. You wouldn't just have...
Not economically.
Wait, what?
And there's a difference between actual, like the way to transition into an ideology and your end goal.
Dude, I'm going to let you know this. The government.
I'm not talking about long-time sustainable economy under syndicates. I'm talking about the short-term transition between capitalism and communism.
Oh yeah, I'm asking you. Why would the government, like at that transitory state, how come they wouldn't just retake power of everything? What would stop them? Yeah, what would stop them?
What do you mean by retake power?
Reseizing the means of production.
Explain that. I don't understand what you're saying.
Like retaking the means of production.
Give me a hypothetical.
Okay, perfect example. Let's say I'm going to use Soviet Union. This never happened in the Soviet Union, so don't think I'm saying this is true. Let's say the Soviet Union had the workers running the means of production, right? This was at Lenin's time, right? And they wanted to transform into a communist ideal society. Okay? What if Stalin comes along and says, nah, fuck that, give me all the power, gets all the means of production to the government? What's stopping him from doing that?
Guns.
Yeah, same. That's what would be happening on our mind. Democratically elected people would stop him.
Right, but oh my god. Okay, so if there's something that takes a lot of specific economic knowledge to calculate and figure out, and people decide this is going to be a good idea that's going to help.
Wait.
Because this happens.
The government has no control of what the Fed's doing.
What?
The government doesn't... okay, my bad. The president doesn't tell the Federal Reserve, do this, do this, do this, do this. No. The Federal Reserve has board meetings where a whole bunch of people come up that are democratically elected representatives by the officials that we elect.
We're giving more power to those board leaders. So what if the board leaders make a bad mistake?
Again, this can be used. This hypothetical can be used exact same with your transitory state.
How?
I just gave you an example.
But that's not comparable.
Yes, it is.
No,
Let's
okay,
say,
okay.
dude. Okay,
So
let's say Stalin.
Okay, let's say that these board leaders are like, we are going to go shut down this company because we think that that's going to help our economy if we get rid of them and replace them with some small businesses, okay? And so they go and they do that, and they regulate it, and they split it open, and then it turns out that that business was actually vital, and all these people are going to find work in other industries, and now that industry has collapsed, and it's an economic failure.
Are you talking about my system? They would just go into
Yes,
the
your
job guarantee
system.
program. They
Yes.
would just go
It's
into
not
the
like
job-
people. It's not like the average Commonwealth is going to be like, okay, great, now we're going to take up arms because they tried to do this, and we
No,
didn't
they
want
would just
to
go back
go.
into the job guarantee program. Or the
Yeah, but
ELR.
that's still an economic failure. You
No,
admit.
it's not. Well,
That's a vital industry that's producing a necessity.
again, there's always a lot of if there was more workers inside of a capitalist, let's say Amazon has 4 workers, and let's say Walmart has 50 workers. Walmart closes down, had the highest wages, right? This would not be an economic disaster for the government. It wouldn't. The government would just look at it as another business failing. So
Yeah,
therefore, this is what the government would do.
But not if that business had vital control over a vital industry that controlled the production of a necessity.
I'm going to ask you something before we go deeper into this. Can you define my system?
What do you mean?
Like, define social democracy.
You want me to define social democracy?
Yes.
Okay. Social democracy, I guess I would define it as a economy with a capitalistic mode of production in which the government provides for its people through social programs or heavy social programs.
Okay. Now define post-Keynesianism.
I can't do that.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you know this hypothetical. This is what would happen. I'm just gonna let you bread out. I'm telling you. So try not to interrupt. What would happen if, let's say, hypothetically, Walmart, again, I'll use this example, Walmart collapses, had 50 employers, right? This was a huge thing. This was a terrible thing for the economy, right? This isn't a bad thing, actually. See, what the Federal Reserve would do.
A terrible thing isn't a bad thing.
This is what the Federal Reserve do. The Federal Reserve would be like, oh, that's fine. Fire up the printing machines. We'll just print away this recession.
Right. Okay. But what I'm not even talking about recession or fake numbers about money. That's a social construct. I'm talking about a vital failure within an industry that produces a necessity.
What's the necessity?
Actual material loss.
What's the necessity?
Food or clothes.
Oh, that's easy. The government would step in and get it.
How?
The government would, let's say the people are failing excessively. The government would pay for these, let's say it's a necessity, right? A necessity. This is your example, don't change it on me. Then if it was like food, clothing, or anything, the government would step in, they would say, okay, here's money, put it here, 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 your business will be afloat and you will be fine. Right? The capitalists will take this money and go here, 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 here with it, and if they do anything else with it, the government will just come and seize the business, and they'll have the business as a public sector job.
Okay, so, 3 things. First of all, does this not disencourage and take away the power of small businesses? Second of all,
no, there's a lot of small businesses under social democracy.
But
this capitalist isn't paying for your health.
If you're gonna just choose one of these small failing businesses to boost, does that not disencourage?
No, the government's not taking these businesses and boosting them. If this is let's say hypothetically, this small business
taking control of them and pumping money
into them to make them stable. What was your hypothetical? What was the main point of it?
A loss of production of a necessity.
Exactly. No, it was not that. It was the thing where if they dealt with food, basic necessities.
Yes, those are necessities. That's what I just said.
If they were not basic necessities, the government would not care. They would not give a single F word about it.
Okay, do you consider iPhones to be a necessity?
No.
Okay, so what do you consider to be a necessity?
Food, water, those types of things.
Necessary to physically survive.
To live, yes.
Okay, so let's say that same failure happens within the industry that's producing iPhones. Now there's no iPhones for the people, and the government doesn't care, and they're not going to do anything about it.
No.
Wow, so social democracy is when no iPhone? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, yeah, technically, if they are.
So wouldn't that make people not happy?
Wait, no, that's not what makes people happy. Again, wouldn't that be your thing with commodity fetishism?
Look,
wouldn't that just get rid of commodity fetishism?
No.
Yeah. Wait, and Marxist says that
wouldn't,
would
because
get rid
we
of
would
it.
still be fetishizing the commodities that we want, especially if they're
So
utilitarian.
yeah, no. So
We just
therefore,
wouldn't be able
I'm
to
gonna-
have them.
so therefore, guess what? There would still be happiness if there's still
No,
things that the people want, and they are getting excessively paid for them, and they can go and buy those goods. Yes, they will be happy.
Right,
And by the way, here, I'll look at it like this. The standard, whenever the dollar devaluation was dropping in America, the standard of living went up 1,000%. 1,000%.
okay.
Crazy, right? And then the government stopped devaluating their dollar, and I don't think there's no such thing as happiness rates, but standard of living started to, flatten out. But, we had a great standard of living during the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Okay. And?
Wait, do you know what standard of living is?
Yes.
What?
Standard of living.
Define it.
You mean to define standard of living?
Yeah.
Okay, so standard of living would be like the way that people like how comfortable people are economically.
Mm-hmm. How's that a bad thing?
How is what a bad thing?
As somebody living economically comfortable.
Hold on. Yes. No, that's a good thing.
Oh, it's a good thing?
Yes, of course.
So we should have social democracy.
Why not go further and just do socialism?
Because
what's your argument? Why not?
For socialism?
Yeah. I would do all of those things.
So are you going to strongman the ECP if I talk it up?
No, I've read it.
Okay, define the ECP.
Economic calculation problem.
Okay, no, I mean, like, what is it?
Oh, did he leave?
No.
Wait, is he here?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I didn't kick him out.
Oh. Maybe his Wi-Fi went down or something?
Oh, he's here.
That's ridiculous.
He folded up the ECP.
Oh, he's here? Okay.
Hi, bro. I accidentally
Okay.
marked on the Amazon.
Okay. So, can you get, like, an in-depth way of the ECP?
I mean, the ECP talks about it's a theory of the failure of economic calculation of resources without a median of prices to like calculate exchange.
So, so pretty much you got it. So, is there prices under socialism? My bad, communism or socialism?
Not under communism, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it would be labor vouchers, correct?
Most likely.
So, yeah, there's no prices, so therefore the ECP applies to communism.
So substantiate the ECP.
Again, the ECP, I would just argue that there is no prices under communism. Therefore, actually, let me pull up my notes.
Because the ECP is a theory, it's a claim. So prove that it's correct. Use evidence.
Wait. Can you prove it doesn't happen? I don't have to prove.
You're the one making the claim. The burden of proof is on you.
Wait. Define burden of proof. If you know how burden of proof works, tell me.
No, I mean, like, you're the one. Wait, you're the one who is proposing it, so you should be able to.
Exactly.
Okay, so pretty much with the ECP, if there's no prices, you can't properly allocate resources. That's exactly what it's saying. And under communism, right? There's no prices. How can you properly allocate resources under communism if there is no prices?
You just do. Prove that you can't. Use evidence.
Wait, dude. Again, this is a theory. This is not.
Yes, it's a
wait.
We haven't seen it happen yet.
Wait.
Like this have worked on a relatively small scale, so prove that wouldn't apply on a larger scale.
Where?
Bro, literally every commune and tribe that has ever existed.
What evidence?
Bro, what do you mean?
What evidence?
You're the one who's making the claim.
No, you just made a claim that. You just made a claim that there has been multiple communes and everywhere around the globe who have not seen the ECP been affected by them.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you the same exact question: why the fuck did they fall then?
What do you mean? Why did they fall?
Why the fuck?
There are still ones. Are you really going to use historicism here to say that just because communes aren't yet like a worldwide thing, therefore communism is like inviable?
No, I would just say Marx was wrong on surplus value. Going
okay, well, and
what? Wait, what?
So
and
prove those prove the application of those things onto real life.
Wait. I just told you surplus value was wrong like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And
okay.
you didn't say anything.
What do you mean? Hold
I-
on, hold on.
I was-
Re-explain your theory on surplus theory.
Okay. Marx forgot. Pretty much. Let me find it. Here it is. An internal
Oh, he's going to
criticism
go
of
back to
Marx.
calculus. Okay.
An internal criticism of Marx's theory of exchange and surplus value leads one to restate in a different framework. This framework will maybe lead to call a monetary approach represents an alternative theory to value theory. Marx's value theory, especially to the form of the value analysis, we suggest that Marx did not succeed in deriving money from commodities. As a consequence, money, if any, has to be presupposed, at the same time as the specific division of labor. Doing so is breaking with the typical abstraction of value theory, which has substitutes values from monetary magnitudes. This form of being throughout as an expressing the essence of society, in contrast with the latter conceived as a surface phenomena. Going more. As everybody knows, Marx starts with the study of surplus value by contrasting two commodities in circulation, C-M-E, corresponding to the simple commodity production on the one hand, and M-C-M for the capital on the other. Less noticing the fact that the two schemes come into the capital on a very different footing, where C-M-E is the outcome of a very careful and rigorous reasoning, which attempts to exclude the links between Marx and basic proposition, the contradiction between private and social labor, and the form of the circulation takes the surface of society. M-E-M is put forth as a more empirical evidence, but alongside the form C-M-E, where we find specifically a division form of M-C-M, the transformation of money into commodities and the change of commodities back into money.
Bro, did you just speak Arabic?
Well, no, those are the equation. What I am saying is Marx did not correctly derive commodities from money.
All right.
Okay.
Wait.
So-
Wait. Venezuela. Oh, never mind.
Okay. So you have proposed a contention with the surplus theory of value, which is a reason to be anti-capitalist.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, I'm going after Marx's theory on it.
Marx's theory is supposed to be a reason to be.
What is your contentions versus social democracy? Because you've provided some, and he's trying to refute your contentions.
My contention. You're asking me?
Yeah, your contentions with social democracy.
It maintains class hierarchies and allows for imperialism.
Jesus Christ. Well, I got rid of the imperialist thing, so
Okay. What stops from a business from just moving to get richer in another country?
In my
Where there's
mind,
not those restrictions.
wait. There would be if the business leaves the country, goes to get another citizenship inside of another country. Guess what? The government didn't do that. That's not the government. That's not the
I
government.
didn't say anything about the government. What stopped that from being incentivized?
Again, and my thing, if it was another
If
social
people have
democracy,
comfortable living and they've been provided for and they're able to travel, what
this is a
would stop
bizarre
them from being
hypothetical.
incentivized to
Bizarre
do it?
hypothetical again. Bizarre
How?
hypothetical again.
We've
Bizarre.
literally seen it happen all the time today.
Wait! I already talked about this. What the fuck? Why am I backing out? Okay, number one, this would never happen, just due to the fact that the capitalists will be making money still. The capitalists isn't just going to move
But
up.
he could
and
make
fucking
more
run away.
in another country.
Okay, if he has more money, he's going to be taxed more. But hey, this
Not
is
if
amazing.
he's in the other country.
Wait, dude, look, go around the world and look at taxation rates from corporates. Who has the lowest corporate tax rate ever?
I don't know. You tell
The
me.
United States of America. Hey, you know what's a funny thing? Places down in Southern America and everything. You know what? They have a very high corporate tax rate. But guess what? They don't have an employer of the last resort. They don't have the public sector battling the private sector. Okay? So there would be no incentive for this capitalist to go down there if they're getting more excessively taxed.
Not if they're still going to be making money.
Jesus Christ. If they're getting taxed and the money is getting taken away from them, yes, that's I don't want to do that. Do you like taxation? Do you think that if you working for this money, and then again, let's use Venezuela as an argument. Venezuela.
I support it 100%.
Oh, so
Venezuela
I don't know if you
days.
support this, but let's say you go down to Venezuela.
That's a meme, but okay.
Yeah, let's say a company goes down to Venezuela, leaves the United States, gets its citizenship inside of Venezuela. Okay, it opens up its business down there, and they're offering $1 a wage to every worker, and they can build their way up. This is what would happen. I think Venezuela has a high. Let me see what Venezuela's corporate tax is. %34. Okay, this is what would happen. The business would go down there, right? They would pretty much be getting ripped off if there was zero corporate tax, and they would be hiring wages. This has been shown to happen with I think India, but I'll link an SAT in the chat. But what happens is they're going to go down there, they're getting their money taken, right? And if there was no corporate tax, if in the United States, my hypothetical is, let's have a zero corporate tax, let's have higher wages. The capitalists should just be paying for the wages, and they would be paying taxes through their personal bank, right? They're making more money, obviously, so they'd be getting more taxation on their personalized goods and services, not the goods and services, but on themselves, right? So what would be happening with this is they're still getting taxed, right? But hey, guess what? It's not the corporate tax plus their tax. It's not like fucking 70 taxes. They're getting one from the government like everybody else is.
Okay.
But under Venezuela, they have to pay everything else.
Great. So maybe Venezuela isn't the greatest one. Why not? What about, say they go to a recently couped Bolivia?
Again, Alex, buddy.
We know, bro.
Buddy.
Come on, Alex. You gotta see my
buddy. Alex, don't make me get Jasper on you again. I don't want to do that.
Capitalism is one profit. So shut up.
Facts.
Anyway.
I mean, we're debating class hierarchies right now, but whatever.
All right, so Bolivia's
and capitalist mode of productions. But go ahead.
Okay,
I'm not talking about Bolivia right now. I'm saying if there was an opportunity for them in another country, why wouldn't they do it? Or even the United States.
Wait, what's the tax rate?
What do you mean?
What are they going to get taxed?
What are you saying? Where?
What would the corporate tax rate be at those countries?
I don't know. It's a hypothetical.
If it was above what one, like my country would have 0, right? But if another country had like a 3%, again, that's still getting their money taken. The capitalist isn't going to care. They don't want to get taxed. So you know what they're going to do? Fuck it. We'll stay in America. We have 0 corporate tax. We're just getting taxed from our personal accounts. We'll just stay here. There's no point in moving.
Yeah. So if they live in a social democracy and they would make more in America, why not move to America?
Who? Like, who do you mean? Like, who wouldn't move to America?
The person who's living in your ideal social democracy.
It would be America, and they would already be living there, unless you're talking about immigration.
Okay. So what if they live in America and America is your ideal social democracy, and they move to another country with a system similar to America's?
I wouldn't care.
Okay, so that would incentivize people to go get richer by leaving and taking their business.
Wait. You just said if it had the same exact thing. No,
if they had something similar to America. Oh, I mean America right now.
Oh no, the government. There's a corporate tax. They would care. They wouldn't leave.
Right, but okay. Think about this. If you are being paid $50, okay, and you have a 10% tax rate, okay.
Okay.
Right, that's $5. Versus if you are if you're making $500 and you have a 15% tax rate, is it better to be an A or B?
Wait, repeat your hypotheticals.
Okay, it's you're making $50 and the tax rate is 10% there. Okay, that's situation A. Would you rather be in situation A or situation B, in which you're making $500 and the tax rate is 15%? It's a higher tax rate, but you're making more money.
Again, there would be no corporate tax rate.
What?
It's a bizarre hypothetical.
What do you mean?
I don't have corporate tax rates. Are you talking about
you're
a person?
Still taxing them. So hypothetically, the tax rate is 10%. You're saying, well, there's going to be taxes in the other country. Sure, but if they're making more money and they're able to exploit workers to imperialize and, I don't know, maybe extract trillions out of the global south like they're doing right now from social democracies.
You're really strong, Manning. Do these
how?
On your hypotheticals, my system is not there.
What do you mean?
You didn't involve my system inside your hypothetical.
What? Okay, hypothetical.
Yeah,
fix
hypothetically.
It.
Okay.
Apply your.
No. One, the United States. By the way, in the United States, let's say you're making a person you're going to be employing is making $100 an hour, and they're going to be getting a 0% corporate tax.
Okay.
Company B. Company B's in Bolivia. Company B is paying $100 plus a 35% corporate tax rate. All right, and then we go to Company C in Venezuela. You have a 45% corporate tax rate, and they're going to make $100 for the salary. Which one would you go to?
Straw man.
What?
That's a straw man of my argument.
That's dude. You never involved my system inside of yours.
Okay.
I would pick
First
either.
of all,
I would pick
First
none.
of all, you've said many times that your system involves taxing corporations of the private sector.
Again,
Correct?
they're personal accounts.
Yes. So a person wants to make profits, right?
Again, you had wages in
So,
there.
but yes, and those wages are being controlled by the state so that people can have livable wages, so that their wages are kept high. So if somebody wants to make more profits by having the wages lower, then they could go somewhere else, have lower wages, make more profits, despite still being
Listen,
taxed.
I literally think
So the
you don't
situation is the
understand.
opportunity to have
No, hold
500
on.
over 100.
I
would go to, I would
I'm
go to
getting-
Bolivia if it was making 500.
Okay, number one, this whole debate, you've been making fucking bizarre hypotheticals. Holy fuck! I just want to let that.
Your hypothetical is not based in reality at all. The situation I'm talking about, which is lowering wages and getting more profits.
Wait. Everything that I have proposed has been attempted almost everywhere around the world, but not at one time. And that, guess what? It all has worked.
This is literally happening in social democracy.
Wait, are you calling the Nordic countries my type of social democracy?
No, I'm saying that they are social democracies.
Okay,
Yeah. Wait. What is the countries you're talking about? What specific examples of imperialism?
Like Finland or Sweden.
Is that not a Nordic country?
No, the Nordic countries would be My bad. Never gonna say that again. Never gonna say that again. The Nordic countries are Denmark, Sweden, and Switzerland,
Sweden.
Australia. You could argue Germany. And
Sweden.
I would just say
Sweden.
I would say my ideal one is probably Australia.
Wait. Finland is in the Nordic region, and so is Sweden.
No, those are still classified as social democracies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would actually argue Switzerland's probably my type of social democracy. Try to argue imperialism for that.
Okay.
Right, then why is it inherent to social... So all right, you've given examples of Sweden and Finland, is that it?
I was just naming countries, dude.
I understand.
Okay,
Your claim, I'm sorry. Your claim is that social democracy is already rampant with imperialism. Can you just back that up? That's all I'm asking.
Oh, you're asking me to back it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how is it inherent?
So look at countries like Sweden, which we mentioned, in which they are getting richer and richer, providing for their citizens, which is great. And then they are extracting tons of money out of the global south every year through corporations in tax havens.
Why? Why is that?
Because they want to make profits and then be able to sell them where people have a lot of money and can buy things because they're provided more.
I'm just gonna lay this out here because nobody can answer this. What's fucking inherently wrong with exploitation?
My God. Okay, so then we just have a moral disagreement. What are your values?
There it is. Yep, moral disagreement.
Okay, so I just think you're a bad person and fuck you.
Okay. Nobody can answer the question.
I thought this might come to that. I mean, we could just end it on like.
Well, no, right?
Ethically,
you're not answering what I'm asking, right?
You're asking why is exploitation bad?
Dude, I'm asking. No, I'm asking.
You literally just asked that.
No, okay, listen. I'm asking why do these companies want to make more profit?
So that they can live luxurious lives.
Dude, they're still living luxurious lives even without the imperialism.
Yeah, but you don't understand the greed of money. Look at Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos has more money and Elon Musk that they will ever be able to use for generations in their family. And yet they still pursue it and try and keep exploiting people more and more to make more money. Why? Because profit, good capitalism.
Wait. Who the fuck said I support Jeff Bezos?
I didn't, but you asked why people would want to make more profits despite already living comfortable lives, and I gave you examples of people doing that in the real world.
This really wouldn't be happening under my system.
No, but that is the oh my God.
Okay, can I ask you? Okay,
Wes,
we're gonna go with exploitation.
Wes. He's explaining. You asked the question. You know why? I understand what you're gonna say back, but he asked the question. But you asked the question, well, would people be comfortable, right? Why would people want profit if they're comfortable? And he gave examples, on why.
It was a Jeff. Okay, listen, this would have been happening under my system if there was a Jeff Bezos. He would be excessively taxed by the government.
But I don't think. Wait, Wes, that's not necessarily what he's trying to say.
I know, but I'm just saying. And then another thing, right, with the exploitation stuff. I'm going to ask you. Why should the workers have all the value entitled to their labor?
Because they worked for it.
How come the capitalists shouldn't get any?
They would also get provided for.
By who?
Bro, by the commune. Are we talking about my system?
Well, no. I just want to know why like workers are entitled to the full value of their labor.
Because I believe in people getting what they worked for.
I would argue that they really do.
And there is no solution to the surplus theory of value. If we're talking about the surplus theory of value, there is no solution to it. Which the point of it is, this is an example of something that can't be fixed under a capitalist economy, and so we should just stop with capitalism.
Wait. You can fix surplus value. What are you talking about?
Bro.
Again, surplus value theory is wrong towards my type of system, as I've already explained. It doesn't work with a monetarist type of approach. But
I mean, that would depend entirely on how you calculate that.
Again, I told you.
It's just essentially it's a different system in which you're scrapping that relationship and replacing with a new one, which I understand it is also something that I am trying to do. But why not just be a socialist? Why?
Because again, I don't think
get rid of these class hierarchies that are.
I don't care about class hierarchies.
Why?
I don't think they're a bad thing, to be honest.
Explain that.
That's class hierarchies. I don't think there's any. You can't really find any proof of class hierarchies causing poverty. Class hierarchies causing
what?
If you're gonna say what, I'll just literally prove the ELR and the It's again. If you're gonna say what to that, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm going to use Minsky's quote again. The liberals' war on poverty was that of a neoclassical theory, which it was to change the poor, which you're trying to do.
I'm not a neoliberal. I don't want to change the poor, bro.
You do.
I want to not make poor people a thing because I don't want class to exist. That's the entire point.
Poor people wouldn't be a thing under my system.
Okay, well, I mean, that depends entirely on how you define poverty.
Again, I would just say nobody living under the poverty line.
Okay. Sure. So, but there's still going to be people who have more money than other people.
That's a good thing.
Okay, why?
Because they're the ones who own the means of production.
Okay, so why does that mean that they are entitled to more money?
They are entitled to more money because it's their goods and services that they're selling. But by the way, they are paying. Okay, can I say something? Okay, they're paying the full value of somebody's labor, and they're using the rest of the money to sell the product, right? Let's say this.
Yo, where does the rest of that money come from?
What do you mean?
Where does it come from?
What do you? Okay, I'm going to give you a hypothetical. Be quiet. Let's say I work at a factory, right? And this person makes a toy truck, which will be $10. Right. I'm giving him, by the way, the labor that he did in Marx's equation. Let's use Marx's equation. Let's say the labor that Marx thought he should get was $5. Right. That's the full value of his labor. Right?
Sure.
Okay. This is what would happen. The capitalist would pay him that $5. Boom. Is the surplus value still there?
No, but the capitalist can't make money.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going now. Okay. If surplus value theory is gone, exploitation, boom, out the fucking window. All right, we also keep going. There's no corporate tax rate, so he's keeping that $5, but he's paying that $2 towards taxation, his personal taxation. So therefore, he has $3, and the person, by the way, he's paying another $3.
Hold on, say that again.
The person is paying the capitalist on a personal taxation will be paying $3, but the worker will be paying a $1 wage. So we have the worker making $4 while the capitalist makes $3.
Okay.
Would you like that?
Write the equation in chat.
Dude, this is a hypothetical.
Bro, write the hypothetical equation. I cannot imagine these numbers in my head, bro. So how is the capitalist going to make a profit?
They would make a profit by okay, well that was an extreme hypothetical, which it does happen like that, but with extreme production rates they would be making profits.
Can you not write the equation, dude?
Again, there is no equation.
Okay,
I can
write the equation. So let's say the toy truck is being the toy truck is being sold for $10. If the full value of the labor, according to Marx, is going to be $5, that means that the cost of the means of production in order to create that thing was $5. Okay, so you're taking $5 from what it takes to build it, $5 from the labor, and then you're selling it for $10. So the capitalist takes that $10 and he has to spend $5 of it on the worker and $5 of it on the means of production, and now he has no money left over, so he doesn't make a profit.
Wait, sooner or later he will, though.
How?
More production equals more revenue.
No, but no matter how many of these things he sells, he's still gonna have the same rates at which he is selling them.
Hey, wouldn't it? Everything's different. Here, let me get this equation for you.
Bro, what?
No, okay, so listen, it wouldn't be one worker making this everything, right? Again, there's no corporate taxation, so I think you're really misrepresenting things.
I didn't mention taxation at all.
All right. Wait.
gonna-
All right. Could we just like 5 minutes or something? Because yeah, this is getting like kind of.
I think we need to stop at like 1:10.
Yeah, I agree. 5
1:10.
minutes. Go ahead.
Oh, okay,
Or
sounds good.
okay, so this is all I'm going to say to close it up. We can end poverty inside of capitalism. It's achievable.
Okay,
I'm going to do my closing statement. We can end poverty instead of a post-Keynesian society. We don't need extreme hypotheticals to prove things that won't ever happen. Imperialism is not inherently towards social democracy. And also keep going. Surplus value theory does not apply to a macroeconomic economy.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
All right. So surplus value is a reason to be anti-capitalist, which you clearly are in some form. But this honestly just sounds like rebranded state capitalism to me. And using evidence in the real world, we can see that it does breed imperialism. And furthermore, I see no reason not to extend these values into socialism, which would not continue to prove the exploitation of workers and build internal contradictions within a class hierarchy that is built off of greed and competitive ownership. That just creates like power dynamics that always prove to be corrupt. And
All right. Are you done?
Sorry, my thing was muted. All right, awesome. Thank you guys for coming. Good debate. That was a conversation. All right, bye.